Today on Judge Faith, an artist and a designer argue over a verbal agreement to collaborate on designer hats.
After I found out the hats were supposed to be used in Barbershop 3, I mean, of course, I did contact him about it. And when I did contact him about it, he didn't say anything about money or negotiation.
You can't just make something and then you feel like, oh, well, since it's made, that's when the work actually starts.
Nicki Minaj is going to wear your hat and you'd be like, great, here it is. You wouldn't have negotiated anything.
And later, a weave goes wrong and the accusations fly between a client and her hairstylist.
This is the hair. The ends of it was really tough. So what I did was I went and got the products that she advised me to get. It turned out like this.
This is hair that I washed with the correct product. You can still run your fingers through the hair. It's not nappy and it definitely doesn't look like that.
You're telling me that you put a dab of coconut oil on your hair and it virtually came out like this?
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Daryl Thomas says he collaborated with the defendant on designing a hat, but got no credit or money for his creative work. He's suing for unpaid earnings and illegal usage. Defendant Lamont Rudolph says he doesn't owe because there was never an agreement about money, and the exposure he got as an artist was secured with his own connections.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Thomas versus Rudolph.
Thank you, Juan. Daryl Thomas?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant, Lamont Rudolph?
Yes, Your Honor.
For $3,000 you say he owes you for unpaid earnings and illegal usage.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Why don't you tell me about your case? I see both of you have items out here. I've read the case. Tell me what's going on here.
All right, again, my name is Daryl Thomas, and I go by the artist name Funk the World, F-U-N-K-T-H-A, World. I'm a visual artist from Atlanta, Georgia. I run a boutique down there called The Dripping Star. We sell independent apparel brands. Also, I do my own artwork. I've been doing my own artwork for my whole life, and this is my main source of business.
How'd you come up with the name Funk the World? I'm just
Funk
curious.
the World? Well, my grandma, she always told me I had an old soul about me, and she always said, you can't fake the funk or, you know, get out the funk. So I just kind of, after she passed, I just took that and kind of ran with it. But I just pretty much took the word funk and then said the world pretty much to give my explanation of what I want to do with my artwork.
Got it, I understand.
Yeah.
Let me get some background from you, Mr. Rudolph. What do you do? And I have a Singer sewing machine in my courtroom today.
Yes,
Why
we
is
do
that?
have the Singer something. Actually, I just got done using it to make your hat.
Okay.
That hat right there, the purple one, that matches the trim on my shirt that I just made backstage.
So you want us to color coordinate today?
Yeah, I do. And once you walked in, I was like, yeah, this is perfect. This is gonna work. Definitely. But now a little bit about me though. I do car interior, I do furniture, I do clothing.
You make these things?
Yeah, everything right here I made, handmade.
When did you start sewing?
Like a little bit under 3 years ago.
And so in 3 years, you've been able to obviously do pretty well.
Yeah, I've dedicated a lot of
skill.
time to this. Like this leather jacket, made that from scratches, leather and snake skin. So,
And you make the hats as well?
Yeah, I have a patent on the hat. It's actually openable, if I can. It's actually openable. It's for like your hair. So like, once you put it on, you can just pull your hair through the top. You know what I'm saying? If you want to, you can step down and try it on. It's all good.
I'm good. I see how
But like, that's
works.
basically how it works. You know, it's just a comfort thing and style, you know.
Obviously, both of you are very talented.
Yes.
Right? And so you decided to collaborate and work together on a project. And
Yes.
now you're here because you
Right.
say you were not paid.
Right.
So why don't you tell me what happened? What did you do and how did the two of you end up working together?
We pretty much collaborated, I want to say, back in 3-4 years ago. We have an Instagram, you know, we follow each other on social media. Well, we didn't follow each other back then, but we had I had a friend that went to college with me, and he went to high school with him, so that's why I found out about him. And since then, you know, we kind of contacted each other and was like, hey, you know, we should link, collaborate. And one of the major things that we did collaborate on is a brand we call LR Funk for Lamont and Rudolph and Funk the World. And we made these hats right here.
So that's your design, and he made the hat.
All right, he sold it, but I actually painted the actual hat. You know, it's my, you know, color scheme, if you can call that, a funky color scheme.
And so the two of you decided you would collaborate on these hats and sell them,
Right.
and the profit would be split
50-50. The one that we used was for the Barbershop 3, and it's not this exactual hat, but it's a clothes hat. And the one he used for the Barbershop 3 is the one Nicki Minaj actually wore.
And that's why we're here, right?
Yes.
Because you say
Yes,
that
ma'am.
the defendant used one of the hats that you made. That hat was used in the movie Barbershop 3.
Yes, ma'am.
And you said he made a profit from that, and you saw none of that. What happened?
All right, so what happened was, after we did the hat, 2-3 years go by, we still have our hat as our own personal use now because we did not sell the hat. And, there was talk about him using the hat with Nicki Minaj he had in Barbershop 3. So when I found this out, it wasn't beforehand. It was more about me finding out after the fact that he already talked to somebody, negotiated, whatever. And, I'm finding out now that through promotions that the hat is going to be in Barbershop 3.
Okay, so let me hear from you, Mr. Rudolph. Was the hat used in Barbershop 3 worn by Nicki Minaj, and did you profit from that?
I would say yeah.
Tell me how you profited from that.
Like, I did a lot of self-promotion and made money that way.
So you're telling me that they used it in the movie, and the exchange was we use your hat in the movie and you get product placement because Nicki Minaj gets to wear it. Can I see a photo of that, please?
Yeah, of course.
That's an Instagram post by Nicki Minaj
By Nicki
wearing
Minaj.
the hat that the two of you
Wearing
designed.
the hat,
Yeah.
yes.
Where's the hat?
The barbershop producer said they lost it.
How much did they pay you for using the hat?
Coming up, questions are raised about how much was paid for the lost hat.
Tell me about how you got money for damages. How much did you get?
It's disclosed amount.
Okay, disclose the amount.
And later, a client demands a refund from her hairstylist after a weave goes wrong.
Did she know at that point that you had not used braiding hair?
Yes, she knew at that point because there's a mirror.
So you were doing the hair in front of a mirror. She was sitting there watching it being done.
Plaintiff Daryl Thomas says Lamont took credit for his creative work. He's suing for unpaid earnings and illegal usage. Defendant Lamont Rudolph says he doesn't owe because there was never an agreement about money when they designed the hat.
How much did they pay you for using the hat?
I wasn't paid for using the hats. They did pay me for what they said losing the hats. I got a damaging fee.
And what's your position on that? You don't believe him?
Not that I don't believe him, but this situation has happened a couple times before. So with that being said, this is not something I have to take lightly because this is my service. So when it's stuff like that happens and I don't really see any benefit from it, at the end of the day, if he's using my product, even if it's lost,
Well, if it's lost, I mean, you're talking about a split, right? Because the hat is worth $400 to $500. Did you give the plaintiff an opportunity to make money on this deal?
You can't just make something and then you feel like, oh, well, since it's made, it's just gonna sit there. No, that's when the work actually starts,
Why weren't you more proactive once you find out that the hat is going to be used in Barbershop 3?
After I found out the hat's supposed to be used in Barbershop 3, of course, I did contact him about it. And when I did contact him about it, he didn't say anything about money or negotiations or commission or what's going on.
No, my question is, you know that it's being used.
Right.
He's doing promotions because the hat's being used. Why can't you do your own promotions?
I was doing my own promotions from my own end. But when there's a bigger standpoint of what's being promoted out there, like say when Nicki Minaj was promoting,
But she didn't tag him. She just said it was the hat.
So when he's doing it in the same way, he's not tagging me. He's not giving me my credit.
But you can tag yourself in your own post.
You're right, and I did. I absolutely did. And I did the same thing with him.
Okay, the hat was lost. Tell me about that and how you got money for damages. How much did you get?
It's disclosed amount.
Okay, disclose the amount. You saying it's undisclosed. I'm saying disclose it.
It was 3 of them. It wasn't just that one. So it was like, we said like 5.
5 what?
1,000.
We have 3 hats that were used in, at least one of them I know of was used in this movie. One of those hats was your design.
Right.
1/3 of that $5,000 would be $1,666.
Okay.
The hat being lost, you are entitled to half of that, which is $833.
I feel like we could have gotten more for the hat if I was in the initial agreement with the contract that he had set with these people.
Worked harder.
And that's why I felt like the hat was worth more.
My job is to come up with a tangible number, and what you're talking about right now are intangibles.
Right.
If I would have been a part of this, I could have negotiated a better agreement. You wouldn't have. You know what they would have said? Nicki Minaj is going to wear your hat, and you'd be like, great, here it is. You wouldn't have negotiated anything. You would have been happy that she was wearing your hat because it's kind of a big deal. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff in the amount of $833. Good luck.
Thank you. I would work with Lamont Rudolph again because he's a very talented designer and I'm a very talented artist, and we both can make a lot of money off collaborations if we both work together.
All right, I'm definitely gonna work with him again because, I mean, there's money to be made. Follow the buck.
We're always interested in what you have to say about our cases. Write us with your thoughts or comments. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, or my Instagram. I look forward to hearing from you.
Plaintiff Michelle Franklin says a defendant refused to return her money after giving her a sew-in with cheap hair. She's suing for a refund for hair extensions and related expenses. Defendant Kiana Anderson says she doesn't know because Michelle was rude and her demands for a refund were unreasonable. She's countersuing for harassment, defamation of character, and lost wages.
Michelle Franklin?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant Kiana Anderson
Yes, Your Honor.
for $660 refund for hair extensions.
Yes, Your Honor.
And related expenses.
Yes.
And you are countersuing, ma'am, for $5,000 for harassment, defamation of character, and lost wages.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll start with you, Ms. Franklin. I take it that you went to the defendant for hair service, it didn't work out, and now we're here.
Yes.
Tell me
so
what happened.
what happened was in February, I was referred to Kiana, and when I went to her page back in February, she didn't have any hair available. So that's
Page
why.
is an Instagram or
a
Facebook?
Facebook page,
Facebook.
yes.
So she had to have hair available, the type of hair you wanted?
No, I was looking for someone who sold hair and who sold actual bundles and also who can install it for me as well. And then so I had contacted her through Facebook. I inboxed her, told her, you know, what I wanted done. I wanted 3 Brazilian bundles done and installed, but I didn't personally say Brazilian, but I'm assuming that's what it was.
Okay, I can't make an assumption.
Well,
so I just want to know what you said, not what you
had.
assumed
I just told her
she would
I wanted
have.
the bundles that she had, and that's what she had on her page.
Okay, so let me ask you, what kind of hair did you use?
I used Virgin Indian hair. My business name is Virgin Eye by Nani.
Why are you shaking your head, Juan? You don't know anything about this. Well, it's like, oh, okay, Virgin Indian.
I'm trying to.
Okay.
She's like, yeah.
So
My business name is Virgin Eye by Nani. The I stands for Indian.
So you're saying you use Virgin Indian hair in 3 bundles?
Correct.
That's what you
No,
worked
she
off
didn't
of.
use 3 bundles.
Coming up on Judge Fade, the ladies take their hair battle onto social media.
This is my Facebook post that she posted on Facebook. She tagged my business page to this. And I have over 250 clients, Your Honor.
Plaintiff Michelle Franklin says Kiana used cheap hair. She's suing for a refund for hair extensions and related expenses. Defendant Kiana Anderson says she doesn't know because Michelle's demands were unreasonable. She's countersuing for harassment, defamation of character, and lost wages.
I asked her if it was going to be 3 bundles. She told me, no, this is for 2.5 bundles. I said, well, I want my hair braided in synthetic hair before you sew it on because my hair is super thin. So she was like, well, bring the braiding hair.
So you wanted to use braiding hair and then
Yes.
sew the sew-in into the braiding hair?
Yes,
Is
sew
that
the
true,
hair.
that she wanted that?
I honestly cannot recall. I do 5 to 8 appointments a day. So I honestly cannot recall if she requested that. However, I took a picture of her hair, which I also submitted to the court before she paid. So the issue of me using braiding hair or not braiding hair obviously was not an issue at that time.
Okay, I understand that, but did she know at that point that you had not used braiding hair?
Yes,
How
she
did
knew.
she
No,
know
I
that?
didn't.
She knew at that point because there's a mirror, for one. For
No.
2, when you use braiding hair, you can feel, you can see it. I stood in front of her. It's not a secret
No.
process.
So you were
like you're
doing the hair
blindfolded.
in front of a mirror. She was sitting there watching it being done.
I'm saying that when you get your hair done, as we all know, whether it's barbering, sew-ins, braids, you can see the person who's doing your hair. She knew that I was not using braiding hair in her hair.
Okay, so this is the final product. Looks great. What's the problem?
I had no problem with it at first. When I got to the car, I did notice it was a little bit bigger than I was expecting, and the ends looked really dry. So I bought this coconut oil, and I put a dab in my hand like this, and I took it with my fingertips, and I just did it on the ends of the hair like this. It made the hair kind of like tough to get through or whatever. So
Show me proof of that. This is the hair?
the hair.
Well, that's not from a dab of coconut oil. What happened to the
This
hair?
is the hair.
You're telling me that you put a dab of coconut oil on your hair and it virtually came out like this?
No.
What else did you do?
So what I did was I went and got the products that she advised me to get, and I cold washed the hair, combed it, conditioned it with the conditioner she advised me to get. It turned out like this.
Did you take photos of it?
Yes, I did take photos of it.
And how many days later? We're talking about 2 days?
I got my hair done on the 15th. On the 17th.
Well, I don't see the
if you can look, you can't really tell in this picture, but if you
well,
look
this is your
at the
evidence.
hair,
I need a photo. I need evidence where I can tell what you're talking about.
If you can really look at the hair, like
I don't see it. Who has video? Who has video?
I have a video of the hair after I washed it as well.
Let me see your video, because this photo doesn't do anything for you.
This side is not as bad. But this
is the video that I sent to Kiana after I had conditioned the hair with the products that she advised me to get.
I mean, that looks a mess.
A mess.
When did you first hear that she had a problem with the hair?
I first heard that she had a problem with the hair on the 17th. I installed the hair on a Tuesday. That was the 15th. I believe when she called me on the 17th, she told me that she had washed the hair on that Wednesday, the day before, with water. If you just wash your hair with water and let it dry, it's going to be nappy, it's going to be poofy, and it's not going to have the same curl pattern.
Now, I agree with you on that.
This is the hair. This is hair that I washed with the correct product.
And look at the ends.
You can still run your fingers through the hair.
How the ends look.
It's not nappy, and it definitely doesn't look like that.
What is your position on when she sent you the video and showed you after it was washed?
If you put 87 gas in a Porsche, and then it's not going to drive correctly.
You drive a Porsche?
I do.
I need to start doing hair then, because I'm in the wrong job, apparently.
If you put 87 gas in it, it's not going to drive correctly. You cannot then take it to the Porsche dealership and say, if this is supposed to be a good car, I should be able to put anything in it.
In any event, what I'm saying is, despite your argument, I don't see from the photo and the video that you've submitted that she did such a horrible job with your hair. I don't see it. What is your counterclaim for defamation of character?
I submitted this to the court as well. This is my Facebook post that she posted on Facebook. She tagged my business page to this. And I have over 250 clients, Your Honor, where she's calling me out of my name, where she is...
Where did she call you out of your name?
At the top, I labeled it. I try to help these broads out in Sacramento.
I've heard worse for defamation, but okay.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
So this Facebook post that she posted, it's more of a descriptive post talking about the issues that she had. And in the end, she said, so y'all tell me what you think about this. One more thing. I still can say she does sew in hair good. I like the way she sewed it in, but her reactions made it hard for me to continue to do any business with her. So, in terms of defamation, I find that she was dissatisfied with the service. I find that she described her dissatisfaction on Facebook, but I do not find that she intentionally tried to lie and defame you on social media. I don't find that this rises to the level of defamation. It's not defamation. And in the end, she actually complimented you and said that she liked the way you did the sewing. Your problem is you just haven't met your burden of proof in this case. That the reason why your hair looked the way it did when you took it out of your head was because she was negligent and that she did something wrong. So I'm dismissing your counterclaim for defamation of character. It's just not there. But more importantly, you haven't proven your case that you deserve a refund for the sew-in.
I have evidence of her saying if I would have
Your case is dismissed, ma'am. Your case is dismissed.
If anyone were to go get your hair done by her, I would advise you not to. She has had many a complaint. She hides her reviews from her timeline, so people can't see the bad reviews about her. So I would just advise no one to go to her at all.
I feel like the judge's ruling was fair. She listened to both sides and she could see straight through the lies. She could see that obviously someone wasn't following instructions. And if you don't follow instructions, I mean, this is what the outcome could be.
If you or someone you know has a dispute, don't take the law into your own hands. Let Judge Faith rule on it for you. To submit your case, go to judgefaith.com and tell us your story. See you in court.